So it's a process. RTI is a process. You hear me say this all the time. It is a process for problem solving our children's needs. And it is not a journey on documentation for special education. Now, this is very important. I have teachers that say to me all the time, Andrea, I just can't do this RTI because all I'm doing is spending all my time documenting. I'm not teaching. And so what I try to do is help them understand that the documentation is very important. And you all know I do legal kind of things in the state. I do a lot of legal testimony. Last 2 years, most of my legal testimony at the state and federal level has been on RTI data collection. And yes, we have attorneys, and you probably are all aware of this, and advocates. Actually, Texas leads the nation right now in this case law, where they'll come in and say to a principal, I want to see how you've documented the student's learning rate. And that's foreign for a lot of our teachers because special ed always did that with IEPs. Now in RTI, they want that information, and everyone becomes paralyzed. And I tell people all the time, the documentation in RTI and the data collection is the natural product of what we're doing in the classroom every day. And so we want ease of understanding that while we have to document, because in the laws now, especially in our Texas Education Code, they have reference to response to intervention. They have reference to progress monitoring. They have reference to certain documentations that you need in order for you to problem solve. So I think our teachers start to think that RTI replaced the old pre-referral IAT process where someone goes in, we document this, and then we can make a referral special ed. One of the biggest issues we're having right now in this state is that our teachers will want to move the kids through the tiers too quickly, and then our diagnosticians will test them, and under the new rubrics that the diagnosticians use for processing, I train them all the time, they're not qualifying. Well, there's a reason for that. The reason is they're really not learning disabled, right? It's a curriculum issue, right? An instructional issue. Then people, I was in a school district this past week, and I said, y'all are having a border war. That's what I call it, border wars. General ed is getting mad at special ed because the kids aren't qualifying. Special ed is getting mad at general ed because they're not doing what they should be doing in Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. And so where's the kid? I said, you guys are over here fighting, and where's our child? You know, down there. So we need to kind of remove that notion that everything we're doing is a purpose up to special ed. We're problem solving here and now and what's important for kids. That's probably one of the hardest beliefs to change with our teachers because we've done that real well for the last 20 years or so, telling teachers, well, if they're not doing well, just fill out a few of these forms, let's check off a few of these things, and someone else will take care of the issue. And that's what we've done. And now we're saying to teachers, guess what? The kids are going to be in your classroom with you, and the teachers are worried. They're worried, well, I thought that they needed something more than me. No, you're it. And that's what they hear. They do. Now, I have to tell you something. When I talk about RTI to teachers, one thing that I see time and time again is this anxiety of this change. And, you know, let me tell you what I think about RTI. And they tell me, quite frankly. I did a training about 3 weeks ago, and I walked in, and this woman said to me, it was out in the Dallas area, I think, and she said, Andrea, I was at happy hour the other night, and your name came up. And I'm like, oh, God. I don't want to know what they were saying about. No, it was all good. I said, so you're all drinking at happy hour and talking about RTI? She says, that's the safest time to talk about it. Because teachers are anxious about it. They're very anxious about it because they don't want to do it wrong. They're afraid about the documentation. So one of the things we have to do is help them say, if you do your job well and you let us support you, you don't have to worry about this. It's all good. All good things will happen to kids. And so we think about that.